Let's have a conversation about Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, Vacasa, and Booking. And in today's conversation, we want to do a comparative analysis for both owners and renters. Okay, so if you are a guest, you want to listen on. If you are a host, you also want to listen on. Okay, so we are comparing and contrasting vacation rentals here. Okay, we have Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, Vacasa, and Booking.
One in a million, one in a million, one in a million. You know they're coming up to me, cause I'm just the kind of flower that's stinging from the beat, but the rhythm's getting higher. Go, 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 go. One in a million, one in a million, one in a million.
Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to compare and contrast Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, Vacasa, and Booking. And we are doing this for owners and renters. Okay, it's really important. So let's start with here. So here's a review. Let's start with Airbnb. So for owners, so basically when you have a Airbnb, obviously we have a good name that's known. Okay, and so there are risks and rewards of making money with Airbnb. Again, I'm talking about Airbnb for host, for owners here, okay? Actually, to list, it's very easy to list, okay? You decide when to make your space available and at what price. Listing is free, and you can individually approve potential guests. That's really what we love. In setting your price, you'll want to consider the going rate in your area by looking at competing listings, okay? You also want to consider the cost of hosting, though, including cleaning, higher utility bills, taxes, and Airbnb's host fee, which is 3% of payment processing. Very important. And your guests will pay Airbnb's 6% to 8 to 12% booking fees. So make sure you understand Airbnb's hosting standards for things like listing accuracy, communication with guests, keeping your reservation commitments, very important, cleaning your space for each guest, and providing basic amenities such as, like, let's say, soap and toilet paper. Very important, okay? And think about the legalities and taxes in your area, okay? In the area where you actually think about personal safety also is very important, because Airbnb is very, very strong on that, and they have a home safety policy that's very important. They want to make their homes safer, so it's very important for you to actually pay attention to that. But overall, the process for as a host for Airbnb is very straightforward. They have payment guarantees, so it is possible for it. So if a guest actually crash and dash, you will not be penalized, because they will have Airbnb will actually repay you. So the bottom line here is that it is totally possible to make money with Airbnb. Okay, as a host, you can make money with Airbnbs. Now let's talk about renters. Airbnb for hosts. No, Airbnb for guests, for renters, okay? You need to actually, there are a few things you need to know about renting a property on Airbnb. Actually, the process is very simple. You go to their website and you enter the characteristics of of the house you are looking for. But you gotta ask yourself a few questions though. You want to read reviews about the host. Make sure that they are legit. Figure out if the host is actually a good host, okay? You wanted to know the local laws. Check the calendar. You need to consider expenses, because they might charge you extra expenses, okay? Check out the information binder also. Be very choosy, very important. And you need to figure out, and this is the bottom line here, is if the host has excellent guest service, okay? Think about the price. Is it good for you, okay? Consider extras. And ask if the place is insured. This is really important. You want to, and take reviews very seriously, okay? So here are the Airbnb fees. For the guest fees, so most guests pay a service fee that is under 14.2% of the booking subtotal. Everything excluding taxes and fees. That's for the guest. For the host, approximately 3 to 5% to cover transaction fees, but this may vary depending on the country or if hosts have a super strict cancellation policy. Okay, so there are no listing fees for joining. I want to talk to you now about VRBO. So VRBO is kind of cool too. I mean, they have a straightforward website, a straightforward onboarding process for both owners and guests. Okay, and so VRBO allows owners they allow you to list all sorts of properties including villas, cottages, cabins, bungalows, townhouses, lodges, farmhouses, and more. Okay, you can even list a castle. That's what we love with with VRBO. You can even list a castle, a yacht, a boat, or a mill. Think about that. So this marketplace specializes in entire homes, and they do not accept shared spaces. Okay, so if you are only looking to rent out a room in your primary home, VRBO is not the right place for you. Airbnb will be. Okay, this is really important. So as a host, you got to really think about that. So you want to actually rent out your entire home. So do your research. Okay, you want to do your research because everybody's welcome to list their home on VRBO, but you should do your research before actually hosting. And you want to explore the VRBO website to understand all their possibilities, to understand all the features that you need to. One thing we love is that they have a great step-by-step guidance video on VRBO. Okay, so create a listing for your rental space. Remember that you will be charged a small commission of 8%, an applicable tax after you actually list. Okay, so but you want to actually create a catchy title. Write a detailed description to explain what makes your vacation home special and try to paint a picture of what it will look like to stay there. Okay, publish perfect professional photos to highlight unique features of your house. Remember, we are talking about an entire house, not just one room in the house. Okay, set your pricing. You want to set competitive pricing. Okay, set your rules and policies. Okay, and it's important to actually read VRBO's house rules so that yours are in sync with those rules. Okay, and if you want to be a good host, a good VRBO host, make sure that you are constantly thinking about guest security, safety, but also the cleanliness. Hygiene is very important. Hygiene in the house. Okay, so let's talk about VRBO for renters, for guests. Well, the thing is that VRBO is kind of cool. As I said before, they actually rent you an entire house. Okay, you want to actually look for the standout features of the guest houses. Make sure that you have an owner that's always there to help you. You want to look for unique designs and architecture. You should be looking for a tailored and personal experience. Remember, VRBO is slightly more expensive than Airbnb, okay? And it's important to understand that you have different types of guest houses on VRBO. You have a classic bed and breakfast. You have lodges in the country. You have your place by the beach or in the mountains, okay? And it's important to actually also choose the right time of the year to actually score a very nice place at affordable prices, okay? So here are the VRBO fees. You have guest fees. So guest service fees is usually between 6 to 12% of the booking total. The host fees, depending on the list and plan, pay per booking. Subscriptions will pay a percentage starting from 8% on each reservation total. You also have an annual subscription owner, and you will not incur any additional host charges. Okay. Now there are listing fees. So you have pay per booking. So if anticipated income is less than $10,000 per year per listing, this option is suitable. Just pay a commission on the bookings you take, starting at 8%. Now, if you have an annual subscription for year-long rentals, you pay annually at least $499. Okay, this makes more sense. Let's talk about FlipKey. Boss, are you still with me? All right, so what is FlipKey? So FlipKey actually is a vacation rental marketplace that plays host to over nearly a million properties in 190 countries. Okay, and FlipKey is part of TripAdvisor's rentals. Okay, so they're backed by a top player in the industry, TripAdvisor's. Okay, so this is really important, and the site offers everything from private rooms on a budget to entire villas for rent. Okay, and so let's talk about FlipKey for owners, for hosts. The thing here is that you need to actually go to the website. The process is very simple. You need to locate where you want to host your vacation or your property. Okay, and remember that the traveler will actually see your location, but also the pictures. Okay, you want to actually make sure that the booking is easy for the traveler. Make sure that you understand exactly the peculiarities of the place you are renting. I mean, talk about the goods and the bads, but you want to talk more about the good of the property, right? And ask yourself, if travelers, you gotta tell FlipKey if you want travelers to pay in installment. because that's possible too. You can have a deposit, you can have a booking deposit required at the time of booking, and the balance typically due 4 weeks before the start of the stay. So this is totally possible, but this is something that you actually have to say as a host. You have to tell FlipKey, I'm okay with that. And in terms of returning home, in other words, after their stay, the thing is that you got to tell FlipKey how you want the guests to leave your house. How do you want to? Do you want them to clean the house? Okay. Do you want them to just leave it as it is? I mean, so overall, listing of FlipKey is very easy for owners. You just got to make sure that you abide by FlipKey's policies, and you have to be very specific on how you want the guests to actually stay in the house and how you want the house to be returned to you. Very important. Let's talk about FlipKeys for renters, for guests. Okay, so if you're looking to book a vacation rental, FlipKey can be a great place to start. Okay, so finding and booking properties through the platform is very easy. In other words, we have tested it. It's very easy. It requires only a few steps. Okay, so you go to flipkey.com, and so from there you can enter your destination, check-in dates and check-out dates to begin finding a place. Okay, so this is very important, but remember, you have to put things like your price per night, the number of bedrooms, the number of bathrooms, the rental type. Okay, everything from apartments to log cabins to yachts, really. The amenities you're looking for. Are you looking for high chairs or saunas or private tennis courts? Whatever you're looking for. Are you looking for suitability? Like, do you want properties that allow pets, young children, or smoking? So those are things you have to specify. Activities such as fishing, golf, and skiing is totally possible. Okay, so here is what the filters look like. You basically have a lot of filters in terms of what you want, and you can really zero in on what you're looking for. So it's pretty straightforward. So as a renter, it's really straightforward. So what fees do you pay if you are an owner? Well, if you have a free listing, you only pay a processing fee of 3% per booking. Okay, if you have an annual listing, you basically will have to, the price will depend. You have to contact FlipKey for that. Now, if you are actually a guest, there is a booking fee that will depend on the location, and the booking fee is actually calculated depending on the property also, the property and the location. I want to talk to you about Vacasa. All right, so when we talk about Vacasa, we're talking about a different player here. We personally love Vacasa because they are offering something that is totally different, and it's great for property owners. Okay, so for an owner, if you're an owner, you actually, with Vacasa, you have a full service vacation rental management. In other words, they go a step forward. They're not just letting you list your property. They're doing it for you. They're doing the marketing. They're doing everything for you. Of course, you have to pay them a fee though, okay? And they also can give you a personalized income estimate. We love that. We love Vacasa a lot because of their business model, okay? So they give you data-driven tactics to earn you more. So here is a property manager who is really bringing your rental game to another level, really, okay? And so Vacasa wants to actually position themselves as your trusted vacation rental management partner. So if you have a house or you have a property that you don't want to be bothered with the listing and whatever, hosting, whatever, Vacasa will take care of that for you, okay? So with Vacasa, you get a lot of stuff. You have a homeowner-driven onboarding system. You have 3D virtual home tours, custom copywriting, high-definition photography, best-in-class optimized listing. Think about that. So they just bring in your rental game to another level. You're not doing anything. Of course, they'll charge you for that, but they're doing it for you. They help you attract guests, okay? Listings on all top booking sites, targeted digital marketing, streamlined mobile app, dedicated reservation agents, and they have 24/7 guest service. Think about it. So Vacasa is really transforming your operation. So they take care of managing the details, taking care of you in terms of unlimited owner holds, no fixed contracts. They have local staff in every market, inspections and regular maintenance, help with taxes and permits. They taking care of everything. They have dynamic pricing technology, consistent professional cleaning, okay, and they have stocking, guest amenities, payment processing, guest screening, and damage coverage. you have a lot with Vacasa, okay? And you have to see first, though, you need to qualify, though, because they will actually, you need to apply to Vacasa because they're doing all those things. They want to make sure they are taking homes that really are worth it. They are worth it for them, okay? So Vacasa is really, so it's really, you have to apply. So you can call them at 1-866-407-6109, or you can send an email to newhomes, homes plural, at vacasa.com to get started, okay? So this is really cool. Now, if you are a renter, if you are a guest, you really have a quality property with Vacasa, okay? Basically, you go to their website, you enter whatever you need, whatever you're looking for, and in terms of geography, in terms of amenities, in terms of bedrooms, bathrooms, you have quality. I mean, when we talk about Vacasa, we're talking about quality properties, okay? And the good thing is that depending on the area, you have a great cancellation policy, okay? You have travel insurance, like, for example, for cancellation, if you cancel within 24 hours of booking, you will receive a full refund. Okay, and for the vacation rental agreement, they're also very specific in terms of unit specific terms, channel terms, and they really explain everything for you. Okay, and you can also ask for events and commercial photography, structures, charcoal grills and all and whatnot, depending on what you the location of the property. They'll take care of that for you also. But overall, Vacasa is really great. Now, their fees are not disclosed. You have to contact them to have more information. I want to talk to you now about booking.com, okay? And booking.com is a great place to be. It's a great marketplace for rental properties, and they also do flights and whatnot, hotels, okay? So booking.com is really, really huge, okay? And so for an owner, if you're an owner, you want to list on booking.com, the process is very simple. You sign up for an account and you create your listing. You can upload your calendar and prices and confirm that your listing is accurate. When you're ready, you open your property for bookings. Okay, in some cases, they'll need to verify your location before you can start accepting guests. But it's very simple. With booking, it's very straightforward. Their team is there to provide advice to get your property up and running and to help you avoid common mistakes. Okay, and the cool thing is that once you are registered with booking, you can update your details at any time. For example, if you add a new facility, or let's say you want to tell them more about your area, you can add this information whenever you want to. So this is really good, okay? And just make sure you have professional photos, okay, that show your property, okay, and the right picture of the right painting. I mean, that paints the right, the right picture, if you will, of your property, okay? And your property, once you finish creating your listing, you can open your property for bookings on their site. Things happen within minutes, okay? Within minutes. And the thing here is that they're very good. I mean, booking.com is a powerful presence on the internet, okay? You have 24/7 support. You have instant confirmation. You have verified guest reviews, okay? You have a powerful online presence. You have innovative tools and features. So this is really good. And the thing is that if you want to find out how much commission you will pay for bookings, you have to actually talk to customer service, okay? And you need to confirm all your bookings. This is very important. And you also are protected if a guest cancels or a guest doesn't show up, okay? As an owner, you are taken care of. Let me talk to you now about the guest. If you are a renter, okay, booking is very simple. It's very straightforward. You go to the website, you enter the information that you need in terms of the property you're looking for, okay, and everything is fine. Just put the filters that you need to put. It's very straightforward. The website is very user friendly, very great. Now with the booking.com, you have access to everything. This is a large marketplace, not just for properties, for property rentals, but also for flights, as I said before, for hotels, for anything, okay? And in terms of payments, you are covered also, okay? In terms of cancellation and modifications, just make sure that you actually contact booking within a few, like before the due date, and it should be taken care of. In terms of, they also pay attention to exclusion. So, okay, there are certain properties that are excluded, and if you happen to bump into one of them, just make sure that just contact booking. They'll actually remove the property or talk to the host, okay? And the thing here is that if you in terms of booking info and request, to request, let's say, an extra service like an extra bed, early check-in, or transportation to the property, contact the property directly 1 or 2 days before arrival. Okay, there's no guarantee, but they might be able to help. So it's totally between you and the property. In terms of the fees, booking.com fees. For the guest fees, no reservation fees for guests. For the host fees, now hosts pay commission on a per booking basis. This can range from 10 to 25% depending on the property location. Okay, and invoiced and paid monthly. Booking.com offers a commission calculator to help you to know exactly what the cost will be for your property. Okay, listing fees, there are no listing fees for Booking.com. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Studio Kiwi Show. I just want to quickly talk to you about, let's have an overview before we disclose our winner in today's conversation. Let's just say that when you are looking for a property, you need to actually find the right site to list your rentals as an owner. Okay, I want to talk about owners first. You need to find the right site to list your rentals. Now, the thing is, you got to look at a few things before choosing whether you want to go with Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, Vacasa, and booking. First of all, what kind of property do you have? Do you have just a room that you want to rent in your house? Do you have an entire property? Do you have a villa? Do you have a cabin? I mean, what do you have? Are you in the mountains? So it's really important. Now, once you have the property that you want to actually you want to list, you need to think about what kind of publicity. What is the traffic that you're looking for? Okay, think about the property. Think about a platform that has huge traffic. This is important because traffic actually means what? Free publicity. It's really important. Traffic is really important. Now, you can go to Alexa to find more about the traffic generated by every platform, whether it is Airbnb or VRBO or FlipKey or Vacasa or Booking. You need to choose the one that is right for you. Okay, it's not about just the traffic. It's also about the target audience. What kind of audience are you looking for? Okay, because you want to constantly diversify your pool of guests, right? But you need to have a core group of guests because those will constitute the fulcrum of your revenue generation machine. They'll be your foundation to make money. Okay, you got to have core customers and ancillary customers, secondary customers, but you got to have primary customers. Okay, but so you want to really understand that. So if your vacation rental business is only known to a certain audience like retirees or couples, you are missing out on potential reservations. Okay, so you don't want to get stuck in the cycle of only booking a certain type of clients by limiting the places you publish. Okay, but also make sure that your business is legitimate. Very important. Okay, whether you apply on Airbnb, whether you list on Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, Vacasa, or Booking, make sure your business is legitimate. Very important. Okay, a legit business will always make you happy in terms of revenue and reach a wider global audience all the time. Don't just look for local guests. No, the whole world is yours. So that was it for owners. Now let me talk to you about renters. If you're sitting there, you just want to have a clear idea of what you need to do. First thing first, you need to know what you want. You need to prioritize your rentals. Okay, it's very important. You need to have a clear idea of what kind of property you're looking for. Very important. Depending on your situation, your family situation, whether you're a solo or multiple, whether you're a single or you're just married or whatever with kids, you definitely have different needs. So you got to know what you want, and you need to time your purchase, okay? Because everybody knows that summers are more expensive than falls or springs. So you have a clear idea. Look at the calendar and choose a date that works for you, and figure out what you are renting, okay? It's very important. You want to do some due diligence on the rental property so that you don't end up in a property that's kind of crazy, dirty, or crazy with crazy, I don't know, like you have to think about safety also, okay? Find out who you are renting from. You want to find out whom you are renting from. Very important. You want to research the owner, not just the home, Okay, obviously, platforms such as Vacasa, VRBO, FlipKey, Airbnb, and Booking, they do some due diligence, but not that much. So it's all about making sure that you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. Determine if the rental is part of an association or destination. Okay, this is important, and you want to actually become a power user. What I'm trying to say here is that you want to give reviews, you want to be active on the platform that you choose. Okay, and one thing that's important also is that you want to avoid groupthink, because people think about, well, if everybody says it, then it should be right. No, your experience might be different from others' experiences. Okay, it's all about looking at a situation with a clear mind and deciding whether or not this is right for you. So think about that, okay? And you want to review the contract very carefully, very, very carefully, okay? You're not checking into a hotel. This is more like renting an apartment. Think about that. So you want to watch for contract language such as cleaning options, okay? This is very important. And you want to also stay flexible. The whole thing is that, you're renting an apartment or house, not a room in a hotel. So things can go wrong, okay? But stay flexible. Stay flexible. I'm not trying to tell you to lower your expectations though, but you want to stay flexible. All right, so here is our decision. So Airbnb versus VRBO versus FlipKey versus Vacasa versus Booking for owners and renters. So which one should you pick? So for owners, our choice is Airbnb. So we have given Airbnb 9.8 over 10, VRBO 9.5 over 10, Booking 9.3 over 10, FlipKey 8.8 over 10, and Vacasa 8.2 over 10. So that's for owners. For renters or guests, our top pick is Booking. So we have given Booking 10 over 10. I mean, Booking, there's no guest fee. It's free, okay? And Booking is huge. I mean, they do a lot of stuff, not just rental properties, okay? So Booking, in our view, is 10 over 10. Airbnb, 9.5 over 10. VRBO, 9.4 over 10. FlipKey, 9 over 10. And Vacasa, 8.7 over 10. So this is really good. So thank you so much for your attention. To recap, in today's conversation, I actually compared and contrasted Airbnb, VRBO, FlipKey, Vacasa, and Booking for owners and renters. So we reviewed Airbnb first, VRBO second, FlipKey third, Vacasa fourth, Booking fifth, and I gave you some kind of advice for owners and renters. And thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.